morning, everybody. My name is Alina, and I am a staff member as well as a graduate student at the University of Montana. I've been in the United States for about 7 years now. I've been in student affairs for about 3 years and finished my bachelor's degree from the University of Montana in marketing and international business, and I also spent my last year of high school in Montana. So I've been abroad for quite a while, and what I'd like to talk about today is integration and its role in the education system, and why I think integration should be considered more in the education system in general, and what are the factors that play in the integration of students, particularly international students. And I'll start off with an explanation of integration. Now, integration happens at different levels, the most popular of which is the cultural integration, but it also happens at these other levels: national, societal, campus, classroom. As you can see, they're all smaller sections of the bigger, larger picture of cultural integration. But the process is fairly similar within all of these. Taft had great research on cultural adaptation, and he decided to divide it in 4 modes. And he used the 2 questions: are our ethnic, cultural beliefs and value important, and should they be kept? And are the other society and society at large, the group that we're trying to integrate into, are those values important, and should we seek them out? And as you can see, based on the answers to those 2 questions, integration is the only one that has yes and yes. So integration argues that yes, we should consider our own, and we should keep our own values, but we should at the same time try to incorporate the other society's values into our own and integrate. And so it's best to go both worlds, and that's one of the reasons I'd like to argue for it. Now, is successful integration possible? Is it possible to do both things at the same time? There's been studies on biculturals that say that they are undergoing a process called active cultural frame switching, where depending on the situations, the circumstances that they are in, these circumstances call for certain cultural behaviors, cultural speech patterns, and they can actively switch between those 2 cultural circumstances based on their knowledge of both cultures. So it is possible. It has been shown that it is possible, and that's the second reason why I'd like to argue to consider integration within the education system. Now, it's around the 1960s, there were a couple of theories developed that show that from beginning, from childhood until maturity, there are 2 levels of development. There's one that's on the social plane, there's one psychological plane, as Vygotsky mentions. And then around the 1970s, the social learning theory started arising, which argued